Hammers legend Tony Gale. Morning, Gailey.
Morning, Tony. How you doing?
Morning, boys.
Do you think the way it was handled in the end was disrespectful towards David Moyes, Tony?
A little bit, but I do think he's going out now on the right note, most definitely, because after last week, I was at the Chelsea game, and it looked like they'd down tools the players, and you have to look at players rather than managers on occasions, and I think they were really disappointing. Looked like they chucked the season in. The fans had gone maybe half an hour before the end of the game. They was there in full voice before, and then they'd all gone, Jeff. And I just think it's going out with a whimper for David. He doesn't deserve that. And I just hope, I hope upon hope, that the crowd on Saturday, and I'll be there, will give him a standing ovation because he's been top draw the last 4 years or so.
Surely they will, Gailey. I mean, the last home game against Luton, surely that's a time to celebrate. And the success that West Ham have had, I think, in the last 2 or 3 years, it'd be the perfect opportunity for the fans to say thank you.
Without a doubt, Ali. Without a doubt. He deserves it. He deserves it. You know, he was there before, coming a bit of a mess, then they got rid of him. All of a sudden, it goes back in a mess, and then he gets them back out of it. So they've got a lot to thank him for, both the board and the crowd. And I hope they show their appreciation Saturday.
What about Julian Lopetegui then as a successor? What did you make of that, Tony?
Yeah, it's one where you hope he hits the floor running, and he's going to have to be, because when he turned it in at Wolves, he was moaning about lack of money, lack of funds. I can't go nowhere with this. Gary O'Neill takes over the job and makes a relative success out of it. So he's going to have to get on well with the director of football. I think that relationship is the key for me. I mean, directors of football for me have to show a little bit more responsibility, Jeff. I think I heard you speaking about it earlier. You know, the recruitment of players is vital. It's okay saying he's a coach. What does a coach mean? Does he have relationships with managers, or with players? Or do the players talk to the coach, or do they talk to the director of football? We have to get it right. For me, it is a manager of a football club. Okay, he's got to go and do the transfers, but you should talk to the manager first and discuss what style of play that you want to play. West Ham, Jeff, Ali, we're asking for a more expansive style. And with the players that they had, particularly in defence, they couldn't play 10, 20 yards further up the pitch because they weren't up to it.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you, Gailey. I said to Jeff earlier today, I think the West Ham front four is excellent. I really do. Paquetá, Bowen, Kudus and Antonio, it's certainly up there. I would think the top 2 or 3 in the league, honestly, I believe. But I think I wouldn't say they need major surgery throughout the side, but you've touched on it. Defensively, I think they need 1 or 2 additions into the squad to strengthen.
Yeah, I think down the spine, Ali, because that's where, if you're a manager and coach like yourself has been as well, you'll look at the spine on that side, and that's what you'll want. 2 central defenders for me, another midfield player centrally, and Antonio is getting on a bit, probably a centre forward. So right down the spine of that side. And obviously a lot of players with contracts coming up. There's a lot of sorting out to do. So it's a big, big summer. So it gives Lopetegui a little bit of a run of it. That's why I think it's a good time now.
I just wonder, obviously we've had over the months text after text after text from West Ham fans. One thing that I've certainly got a feel for is that West Ham fans desperately want to see some of their young, homegrown talent given an opportunity. And that maybe didn't happen often enough under David Moyes. Do you think Lopetegui is the type to do that, to give young, homegrown players an opportunity?
Well, I'm close with quite a few of the boys, the ex-players that are in the academy, and they've been a little bit disappointed that the boys haven't been at least given an opportunity on the bench. But it's always the case with managers. They want their results, and they want to keep their job. And do they trust in kids to come in? A kid who's not a success. I think you've really got to hit the floor running as a kid. But I do believe that if you're good enough, you'll get in. But I think there needs to be a little bit of a coming together between them all. Academy level, the director of football, and most certainly the manager, if they want to get these young players in and around the squad.
Tony, what about... So just a quick one, Gailey. What about the comment from Moyes? And it's an understandable one regarding the defensively losing a lot of goals. He was asked what the problem was, and he just said 2 words: Declan Rice. Is it as straightforward as that?
Well, you lost the best defensive midfield player probably in the world alongside Rodri. So it was a miss. But having said that, Ali, they got 3 good, decent players in, didn't they? Alvarez, Kudus is a top 4 player with me all day long. And James Ward-Prowse, who's steady. That transfer market or transfer window now in the summer is going to be key. They've got to go and invest again, and they've got to get some players in, some good players. But, yeah, of course you're going to miss Declan Rice. But don't forget, they didn't have a good finish last season with Declan, did they? It wasn't just Declan. There's a lot of surgery to be done. I think particularly central defence for me.
Gailey, good to talk to you. Have a good day,
All
mate.
the best, Tony.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.